Hello. There we go. Hi, buddy. Let's go, runners! Come on in. All right, everyone, gather on in. 12:40 p.m. So I promised everyone a chat today. So we'll get our conversations going while we've still got some runners arriving. So feel free to sort of pause the chat and give them a clap. For those that don't know me, my name's Lance, or Chili. I'm the president of Solid Men, a local men's health organisation, and today's the start of Men's Health Week. And so what we've done today is we're putting on our second Check 6 challenge. The reason why we've called it Check 6 is it's actually aligned with one of our core values, which is all about checking your brother's six, making sure that we're watching them in their blind spot, in their weak spot, and that in that vulnerable area, so that we can support them go through the tough times, and then for the men in our group as well, also being aware of those vulnerable spots. But I'm going to have somebody speak a bit more about that in a moment. But what I wanted to do today for Men's Health Week is actually invite some other local organisations down who also do great things in the community for men's health, because just like our group where we can't do it alone, I believe it's the same with a bigger scale and looking at other groups. So what I'm going to do is throw it to a few people to share. First up, we'll have Hammer from Solid Men, one of our guys who'll speak for a few minutes. I don't have any fancy intros for you, Hammer, sorry. But then I've got Dave Newton from the Journeyman Collective, and then I've got Andrew and Billy from Penrith Men's Walk and Talk. So I'll give you the mic. Thanks, Hammer.
Thanks, Julie, and big warm welcome to Journeyman Collective and Men's Walk and Talk. It's fantastic to have you guys down and really championing men's health and also doing it in the local community like we are. So for me, strong men is strong families are strong societies, and looking after men is very, very important. And for me, I've been part of Solid Men since October 2017, so in my 8th year now, and Solid Men is very special. We started off with a small crew back in the day, probably about 6 or 7 guys, and now across 5 locations we have about 50 to 60 men every week turning up to workouts on Saturdays. We also have men turning up to workouts during the week, and we do our river run every Tuesday morning and Thursday morning as well here. Solid Men, its vision is to connect men to the uncomfortable life of following Jesus. We are unapologetically a Christian organisation, but although most of the men in our group are believers, are Christians, there are men in our group who aren't as religious, but they love coming along because it's a very special environment. It's a lot of positivity, really strong bond of camaraderie amongst the men, and a lot of us just connect very deeply, and that's for me what's been so special about Solid. We work out, Saturday is our main event, so someone will bring an encouragement from the Bible for about 5 minutes, and then we'll sort of pray very quick, and then we just get stuck into the workout. And it's a different workout every week, and it's peer-led, and different men share and lead. And so it's plenty of variety, and it's on rain, hail or shine. And then the best part of it is after the workout is when we get to connect together, always at a local cafe. We sit down and we create this really sacred space amongst the men. And it's this beautiful space of safety, sacredness, and confidentiality in a lot of ways. And what it creates for us men, especially when you do the journey over many years, is that men open up, they talk, just like what you guys are very used to as well. You get men together, and perhaps they can talk in a way that they can't around women, around their wives. And sometimes as men, we put on a bit of a macho front around people, we think we've got it all together. But then we get around the company of other men, and we're able to be vulnerable, we're able to be real, and we encourage each other on a spiritual front, but also on a mental, emotional, and obviously physical as well. That's what we're all about. And so over the years, men have shared many, many different things, and it's been beautiful to be a part of that. Many of us have shed tears at different moments throughout our journeys of life, and we come around together. And the great thing about it is it doesn't just get left on a Saturday. It continues on throughout the week, not just through the activities we have on during the week, but the communication we have with each other. There's accountability. We have check-in Tuesdays where we rate each other rate ourselves out of 5 on our mindset, exercise, and nutrition. And that way, we keep that accountability going. When one of the boys is doing it tough, they'll put it out there, and boys rally around. So it's a beautiful sense of camaraderie that we have, and it's an honour and a privilege to be a part of Solid Men, and it's an honour and privilege to be part of the great work that's being done by other organisations like us who are championing men's health, and what better week to do it than on Men's Health Week. So I really appreciate the opportunity to share this afternoon, and yeah, I'll hand it back over to Chili to introduce our next guest.
Thanks, Emma. So I'm going to throw to Journeyman Collective next. So Dave, I've been watching the work that he does online for, I think you'll break down, it's over 2 years possibly, so it's been a couple of years. And while we connected online, the first time I met him in person, I walked into the local gym up here at Revo's. I thought Mike Tyson was on the bags, like it was being hit that hard, but no, it was Dave there. But I think you do some really great stuff, with again, a small part of what the community needs. Boxing is your thing, but you have boxing as the hook. But then mental health, I know, is very big for you. So come and share about Journeyman Collective. Thanks, Dave.
G'day guys, I'm Dave Newton from the Journeyman Collective. It's great that you guys have put this on today. And, it's great we've got the other men in the community who do similar things get together. Thank you very much for inviting us. Just a little bit about myself. I stepped into the ring at the age of 50 as a masters boxer to prove something to myself. I was in a fairly dark place, and it basically saved my life. A lot of you guys will know where I'm coming from. So I see the benefits of health and fitness, putting yourself out of your comfort zone, which we spoke about before. And through that, I was able to actually win an Australian title, Masters title. And so from there to there, I know the importance of have people around who help me get through that. So I thought it'd be good for the community. For me, I know there's plenty of men out there that won't go to certain organisations or whatever else and talk. So the idea is through the exercise we bond, and then they start to open up. So that's the way I deal with it. I've got a group of about 20, 25 members, but on a weekly basis we might get say 10, 12 guys who've got things on. It's purely funded by myself. All the gear and my supply, and it's basically anyone can come down, any man can come down, any fitness level. Because the way I look at it, if we all help each other out when we're down there, the old saying, the rising tide floats all boats, it's the same thing. We can lift each other up as we go. So that's pretty much what I'm about. We're down here at on Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. at Duke's Oval, the cricket pavilion. An hour of just pad work basically, all cardio, get the guys moving, and then they go home better to their families.
Nice.
We help everyone. So hopefully through this, I know boxing is very much sort of maligned as violent, but in some respects it's about self-control, and these men feel better about themselves. They go home, they blame their steam, they're in a better place mentally. So that's the way I look at it. All right guys, thank you very much.
Thank you. So the final speakers today are two men that started a movement, if you will, I think about 7 or 8 years ago, similar time to when Solid Men kicked off, and they also use this amazing river every single week. And I think the thing to highlight is that these different organisations won't always be about burpees before dawn, reading the word, or boxing. Sometimes it is just about walking. So I've been able to connect with both these men a few times over the last couple of years. Penrith Men's Walk and Talk is a member of the Australian Men's Health Forum, as we are. So I'm going to throw straight over to explain the walk and what you guys do for men in the community. So we've got Andrew and Billy. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you, lads. Yeah, beautiful. Look, we just want to applaud everything we see happening here today, everything we hear, everything we know about Solid Men. It's fantastic. Three of our real core values, focus areas are just physical, mental, social. And actually, I applaud greatly the way that you introduced that spiritual, can I just say? Awesome. But we find with, after, over 6 years, my observation is a lot of the dynamics of our group, I'll let Billy talk more about our walk, but I think it's primarily become social, and that's a good thing. In the days we all know, Australian Bureau of Statistics on mental health and all, we know the greatest thing I think a lot of us are really after is a good social connection. And so we work hard on just very low-key, organic social engagement over a coffee. Over a coffee. And over 6 years, no one's ever paid for a coffee. So we're grateful for the community support on that. It's also physical by very nature, and I can assure you that a lot of the men who do our walk would not be walking the river every week if it wasn't for that. And we always ask, and how did you come down here? And they go, oh, my missus saw you on Facebook, and my daughter said, and my doctor said. And part of that is just that weekly physical walk, which is a good thing. So that's, and of course, mental, well, you can hang whatever you want on that word mental. It's quite diverse and a lot of stuff going on. So, but that physical, mental, social, and that's what I see in everything we're doing here, and also with the Journeyman Collective as well. So we just applaud everything you're doing. And I'll hand over to Billy just to briefly give an overview of our walk.
Yeah, so we walk every Thursday evening, and we gather at the coffee club at 5 o'clock. We walk at 6 o'clock, and we have three options for the guys. They can either come, have a coffee, and go home after it. They can come, have a coffee, and walk to the Blue Tree, which is about 1.5 kilometres, maybe 3 kilometres round trip. Or they can do the whole trip around the river, which is about nearly 7k. Yeah, touching on the mental health side of things, I come from that sort of background, and a lot of the guys who come on our walk actually engage with me about the situations that they're in. And it is a great way, as you guys have said before, giving the guys the opportunity to talk about what's going on in their life, and then maybe help them on the evening, or direct them to somewhere where they can get that further more support in the community, or with some of the great organisations that are out there. One of the challenges we face, although there are many groups like this, we find that there's guys coming down to us. They come down in their car, they sit in their car, they see a group of guys there, and it's just too much for them to get out of their car and come over because of the anxiety that they're suffering. So we need to be better at doing that there. And what we've done is got myself and a few other guys, and we're on the lookout every week to see who is maybe walking around or sitting in their car, and physically going and approaching them and trying to bring them across too. And if it's still too much for them, I can meet up with them on another day at another location, have a coffee with them to build up that rapport. So maybe that's something that we could be doing as well. There's a lot of isolation and loneliness out there, particularly with clubs, and they're going through quite a bit, that I've heard of on the walk. But what we're doing is great. I love it, and yeah, great stuff to what you are doing today. And yeah, that's all I need to say. Thank you.
Thank you to all the groups that came along, and I just wanted to share again, our mission is to strengthen and equip a growing number of communities of like-minded men to promote physical, spiritual, emotional and mental health. And so I feel like, putting on a day like today, we're seeing a big physical challenge. We've got quite a few guys that are about to go for lap 4 of 6. They'll be running over 40 kilometres today. But it's great to put on a day like this, see other groups coming through. I think what was really positive for me is that showing up today, I ran into somebody that used to train with Solid Men and hadn't seen him for a few years, but it turns out he's now with the Men's Walk and Talk. So it's great to see that found community, and I think that's the point for us. We're not here to sort of compete for membership or numbers. It's as long as we've got men connecting somewhere, then we're all winning together. So to the runners that are out there, well done, keep going. And that's a wrap. Thanks everyone for coming out today. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.